welcome to The Tonight Show. Well, it seems like there's so much going on right now. Tropical depression Henri is still hitting the Northeast. WNBA champs, the Seattle Storm, visited Biden at the White House. The pumpkin spice latte is back. And a woman found nuts and bolts in her Domino's pizza. There's a lot to go over, so let's just jump in and cover it all at once. It's time for a news smash. First up, the WNBA champions, the Seattle Storm. They visited President Biden today, and get this, they're the first WNBA team to be invited to the White House since 2015. It's a pretty big deal. Speaking of storms that are a pretty big deal, Tropical Depression Henri. Over the weekend, 45 million people were under a tropical storm warning. So last week, things on the East Coast were hot and sticky, and this week, things were just wet. And if you want something that's just hot, wet, and sticky, why not try Starbucks Pumpkin Spice Latte? It's back, starting tomorrow. Some people are excited, while others think it's too early for pumpkin spice. Either way, drinking one is way better than eating a pizza covered in nuts and bolts. Yeah, a woman reportedly ate half of her Domino's pizza before finding them in her toppings. Can you imagine digesting all that cheese and metal? I mean, that would rock you like a hurricane that was downgraded to a tropical depression. Sure, it doesn't feel good to be demoted, but keep your head up, Henri. If you work hard and do your best, you too can be the Storm invited to the White House. The team took pictures with the Bidens, and of course, a lot of the players are taller than them. And if you want something tall that's from Seattle, why not try Starbucks Pumpkin Spice Latte? It's only $5 for a tall. So it'll be on the house if you find nuts and bolts in it. If that woman sues Domino's, she could probably make a lot of money. I bet she could even make it rain. Henri broke the record for rainfall in 1 hour in New York, which is nuts and bolts. In conclusion, OMG, FYI, PSL, FML. This has been a News Smash. Here's some good news. Today, the FDA granted full approval to Pfizer's COVID vaccine. It's about time. Their statement started with, "Hey, sorry, I just saw this." Yeah, it was approved by the real FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, which is not to be confused with the fake FDA, the Facebook Doctors Association. Yeah, this is great news, although if it didn't get approved, I'm not really sure what the options were. Pfizer store credit? Must be weird working at the FDA. One day you're approving a life-saving vaccine, the next you're approving new s'mores-flavored Oreos. Get this, which I don't believe is a real thing, but if it is...
If it isn't, it should be.
Yeah, I would, yeah. I'd get the shot and the cookie. Yeah, both. Get this, the new name of the fully approved Pfizer vaccine is Comirnaty. Comirnaty, which sounds more like a drunk person trying to say community. You can't arrest me. I'm a valued member of the community. The vaccine isn't the only thing keeping the FDA busy. They recently had to tell people not to treat COVID with a drug that's given to animals with worms. This is real. They tweeted, "You are not a horse. You are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it." Meanwhile, the people taking it are like, "Laugh all you want, but I don't have COVID and the worms are almost gone." So, some entertainment news. Well, due to his past offensive comments, Mike Richards has stepped down as host of Jeopardy after just 1 day of filming. Yeah, he was only the host for 5 shows. Come on, I mean, half the contestants last longer than he did. That's right, he's stepping down as host, but he'll remain as the show's executive producer. Not a great look on his resume. It's like having your jobs listed as Wendy's cashier, Wendy's manager, Wendy's cashier. And finally, inspired by a recent TikTok trend, a Domino's in Australia has unveiled an unusual new menu item. Take a look at this.
Domino's is getting inventive. Their Australian account posted this video of them creating a new summer-themed pizza. The crust is actually made of watermelon. It's topped with tomato sauce and pepperoni.
Honestly, I'd rather have the pizza topped with nuts and bolts. Today, the U.S. intelligence agencies finished their review on the origins of COVID-19. Then Americans said, hold that thought, there's a new Spider-Man trailer, y'all. That's right, after a version of the trailer leaked online, Sony released the official teaser trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, and it already has over 200 million views. Yep, the fans are going nuts. People haven't been this excited about a kid who lives with his aunt since the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. In the trailer, Spider-Man visits Dr. Strange and asks him to turn back time. Then President Biden shows up and asks for the same thing. Well, speaking of new films, Netflix just announced the release dates of 42 movies that are hitting the platform by the end of this year. Even the Hallmark Channel was like, maybe you should just slow down a bit. You know, like, quality over quantity, yeah. 42 new movies. When they heard that, Disney Plus said, crap, get some Avengers in front of a green screen now. Netflix also announced all their holiday movies. Yeah. They were like, okay, Starbucks, we see your pumpkin spice latte in August and raise you single all the way. Well, guys, as I mentioned today, the report on the origins of COVID was completed, and an unclassified version will soon be released to the public. And like everything with this pandemic, I'm sure Americans will fully accept the truth, and it'll put all conspiracy theories to rest. Finally. I knew it. I just know it. It's really going to be great.
Yeah. Case closed.
Yeah, the unclassified report will come out in a few days, or sooner if Sony accidentally leaks it early. Some more COVID news. I saw that Pfizer is changing the name of their vaccine to Comirnaty. Yeah, Comirnaty. It's a combination of the terms COVID-19, mRNA, community, and immunity. Sure. Let's see how that's going for everyone.
The vaccine has been known as the Pfizer vaccine and will now be marketed as Comirnaty.
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 Comirnaty. Comirnaty. Well, I guess we'll figure out how they're going to pronounce that.
Yeah. One anchor was like, formerly known as the Pfizer vaccine. Listen, if they really want people to take it, they should just call it White Claw. That's right. Pfizer announced that they're renaming their vaccine Comirnaty, which led to another interesting announcement. Watch this.
This year, Johnson & Johnson has been so proud to offer its very own COVID-19 vaccine. And today, we're even prouder to announce its brand new name, the Pfizer vaccine. That's right. The J&J vaccine is now called the Pfizer vaccine. Bye-bye bad press. Hello rebrand. Johnson & Johnson's the Pfizer vaccine.
That's interesting. It's a good name. It's a great name for it. Well, this is going viral. The other day, Rudy Giuliani was spotted in the Delta Lounge at JFK shaving. This is real. Take a look at this. He's at the table. He's at the table shaving. Then Rudy left to do a press conference at Four Seasons Total Manscaping. Hey, get this. I saw that Oscar Mayer is teaming up with Lyft to surprise rideshare passengers with the Wienermobile. Yeah, if there's one thing everyone loves, it's a giant wiener-related surprise. Don't you think? It's a fun idea until you have a job interview and the Wienermobile shows up. Finally, speaking of hot dogs, a new study suggests that eating one hot dog takes 35 minutes off your life. Americans heard that and were like, yikes, in that case, give me the double bacon cheeseburger. Today, President Biden held a meeting with the CEOs of Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft to discuss the growing threat of cyber attacks and data leaks. they've got their work cut out for them, because right before the meeting, you could hear a voice say, "Ready when you are." Yeah, it was a good meeting, although Biden's at that age where he puts the word "the" before anything tech-related. Like, I order from the Amazon all the time. Just type it into the Google. At 78, Biden might not seem like the right guy to handle this, but trust me, no one is better equipped at stopping leaks. Here's some big news. Today, Johnson & Johnson announced that a booster shot of their vaccine provides a robust increase in antibodies. Kind of like Chef Boyardee saying our new sauce is robust in flavor. Well, guys, if doctors aren't busy enough, they're now dealing with the latest online trend. Listen to this.
There is another dangerous internet challenge that people should be watching out for.
It's something called the Milk Crate Challenge. Doctors warn it could land you on a trip to the ER.
Half of Americans said, of course, while the other half said, it's my choice and I want to do my own research. Seriously, imagine surviving a global pandemic, then having your family find out it's the Milk Crate Challenge is what got you. Some business news today. OnlyFans decided to drop their plan to ban sexually explicit content.
Wow. Or corner of them.
So between this and the new Spider-Man trailer, what a week for teenage boys. You know what I'm saying? That's right, OnlyFans will keep allowing sexually explicit content. Thank goodness, because without this, who knows where you'd be able to find that stuff online. You know what I'm saying? Well, get this, I saw that you can rent a vacation cabin in Oklahoma that's completely decked out with Nerf toys. Check this out. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it's great if you're training your kid to be the next John Wick. It's like 30 guns. And finally, as part of their new fall menu, Starbucks has added a new drink, the Apple Crisp Macchiato. In response, the pumpkin spice latte was like, oh, it's on. Let's get to some news, guys. This week, in a company memo, the CEO of Delta Airlines refused to use the term Delta variant and only referred to the virus by its scientific name. I guess it explains why pilots have been saying, welcome aboard, thank you for flying B16172 Airlines. Apparently, he's afraid that if he says Delta too many times, the virus will show up like Candyman. Yeah, he's doing anything he can to distance Delta from the variant. Today, he said, from now on, our airline's pronounced Delta. That's right, Delta is in a pretty weird situation, but this is nice. Another company just released a message of support. Watch this.
We sympathize with Delta CEO Ed Bastian. Hang in there. The only piece of advice we could offer is to be patient, and before long, your company name won't be associated with something so horrific.
A message from Ebola Farms Baked Goods and Treats. Put a little Ebola in your day.
Yeah. Ebola Farms. I love that bread.
I love Ebola Farms.
Yeah, that's the best. And they make bread.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I just thought it was a farm.
Yeah. You think it'd be a bakery. You think it'd be Ebola Bakery or something.
Got a bunch of pretzels, anything you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're going full any type of carb?
Any kind of carb, any kind of baked bread. They got strudel. Oh, delicious.
Oh, strudel. Delicious. Guys, get this. A new report found that nearly all U.S. government agencies are using facial recognition technology. Americans were like, whoa, I don't want something scanning my face, and then went back to pulling down their mask to unlock their phones. Yeah, most U.S. government agencies are now using some form of facial recognition technology. But unfortunately, it's having a little trouble correctly identifying people's faces. And some can't even recognize members of Congress. I'll show you what I mean. For example, it thought Congressman Austin Scott was the 40-year-old virgin. You see what I mean?
Wow.
They're not recognizing.
Yeah, it's not working right.
No, it's not working correctly. Next up, it thought Congressman Dean Phillips was Doug Funny.
That's not even a real person. What? That's a cartoon.
I know it's a cartoon, but
Wow, this is not working well at all.
can we see that again just to make sure it's not working.
Wow, it's not working. You're right.
Next, I thought Congressman Sam Graves was that carnival game with the clown face.
Oh.
I mean, it's just totally not working.
That's not good at all.
No, it's not good. I thought Congressman Don Young was the owner of Jurassic Park. And you got that's not even. It's a movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Richard
I thought
Attenborough.
Senator Roger Marshall was Ross when his teeth got whitened.
Oh my God. That seems ridiculous.
I thought Congressman Brad Sherman was George Costanza.
Oh, wow.
And finally, it thought Congressman Derek Kilmer was Beaker. And there you go. That's just it. We're working out some kinks. Well, this is a fun story. I saw the company is selling a miniature replica of the rocket that took Jeff Bezos to space. Here it is. Yep, there it is. Anxiously awaiting to probe your galaxy. Seriously, I don't even think you could show that on OnlyFans.
You think it's hard to get?
What's that?
Is it hard to get that?
Yeah, a little.
A little hard to get?
A little bit, yeah.
I bet you have a ball playing with that. Great.
You think people have a ball playing with it?
Yeah, fantastic. You think his whole staff got together to get that design down?
Yeah, congrats to the whole staff. Yeah, I mean, it's
God.
yeah.
This whole bit is a fallacy. Let's move on.
Some entertainment news. Netflix just released a documentary. How can I even tell jokes after this?
Oh, my God.
Netflix just released a documentary about legendary painter Bob Ross that claims to show the dark side of his life and legacy. It's called Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Betrayal, and Greed. Really, Netflix? Do we really need this? I mean, what's next? Betty White, secret serial killer. Why? Hey, get this. I heard about some grocery stores in Pennsylvania that are all dealing with the same unique issue. Check this out.
Police in multiple counties are investigating thefts at a grocery store because someone is stealing 3-foot-tall Snoop Dogg bobbleheads. Police aren't sure if the thefts are connected.
When reached for a comment, Snoop said, "Stop robbing my bobble, baby Bubba. Stop robbing my bobble. Stop robbing my bobble, baby Bubba." Thank you. And finally, stop robbing my bobble. Stop robbing my bobble, baby Bubba. Finally, a video from, this is funny, a video from the baggage claim at a Seattle airport went viral. It shows a package of frozen chicken coming around the carousel, unwrapped. Look at this thing. One guy grabbed it and was like, "Oh wait, these aren't my raw chicken parts. Mine has a black handle." Yeah, sorry. Even worse, the KFC colonel saw that and was like, "Damn, they know the secret recipe. We import our wings through Delta."
Hey, hey.